Fantastic. Well, what a treat of a day. And as Ashley said, we had a fantastic morning together. And now we have this afternoon, and then I know a celebration and networking. And as ever, we know networking is one of the critical aspects of this program that frankly gives you the support, the ongoing encouragement, the networks, the board advisors that helps your businesses continue to grow from strength to strength. So it's a real pleasure, Ashley and team and Vipin. I want to make sure you all know Vipin, actually. So Vipin, stand up, and nothing like putting one of your colleagues on the spot. Vipin is based here in our India office and is responsible for 10,000 women here in India. So they asked me to do a deep dive into the Growth Fellowship with my two wonderful panelists, beautifully color coordinated, if I
coincidentally,
if I may say, today. So for those of you, and I know we touched on it this morning, but what we wanted to do was to give a number of our graduates from around the world, and to put that in context, this last year, we had over 700 of our alumni applying from all different countries, and we chose 16. So it was a very, very tough selection process. But we wanted to give you the opportunity to spend time at Goldman to continue learning from us. And critically, we wanted to, our people at Goldman continually say to us, you have this phenomenal program. The reason that I joined Goldman Sachs was because I wanted to be a part of 10,000 women. The reason that I work here versus somewhere else, the thing that I am proudest of and the thing that I want to learn from is the entrepreneurs and the program, and they want to learn from you. So we launched our Champions program, which again is as highly competitive, and we take our very, very best associates and vice presidents, again choosing a very, very small number to pair with our 10,000 women alumni and entrepreneurs for a fantastic 3 days of, 3 days at the start, intensive learning, and then the journey continues thereafter. So this year, we actually just finished it around Women's History Month or International Women's Day, and we ran it in 4 offices around the world, so in Bangalore, in Beijing, in London, and New York. And I'm therefore absolutely delighted to be joined by Arya Mahajan, who is the founder of iVillage, and a 2022 Growth Fellow. And I believe, if I have this right, you are cohort 6. Great. So let me give us a warm welcome to Arya.
Yeah,
welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. And also to her champion, to Nidhi, who is an associate in our office here in our investment banking division. So welcome to you as well. Another warm round of applause,
Charlotte.
please.
Thank you.
So, Arya, let's start with you.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell us a little bit about your business and your journey through the 10,000 Women program and onto the Growth Fellowship.
Okay, I'll try to put in as less words as possible because it can go for days. So, iVillage is my organization, and it's built around the principle of paying it forward. So rural women, we employ rural women, we train them, and they make products for us. They are first-time breadwinners for their family, and we train them in hand-stitched products, and those products are sold to corporates, to small, medium enterprises, to institutions, and schools alike. It is very similar based on the concept of 10,000 Goldman Sachs, 10,000 Women Goldman Sachs program, where you are trying to provide opportunity to people who you know have potential to deliver. So it's on, yeah, so we recognize similar output in rural India. And what we do is our business strategy is about ensuring that the rural woman does not have to leave her ecosystem, her place in search of work or finance. So we ensure that there is financial opportunity in her area, and whatever she makes, whatever interesting products that we ask them to make, they make it and we sell it further. We go a step further. It's been 5 years with iVillage, and so going a step further is re-strategizing business, where they make, out of the huge offering, we have limited our products offerings so that they can earn better with the limited products and do better at what they're already doing, and get better at what they're already doing. And this last piece of strategizing comes from Growth Fellowship Program, where the whole idea of iVillage is how to make sure that these rural women take home a better pay, and we give the corporates or our clients a better product. So that's what my learning has been in the past 1 year, and I thank Goldman Sachs for this.
So an intensive journey and an amazing business.
Worth it.
Amazing
Totally
business
worth
that
it.
you have. So Nidhi, please, just for our audience, introduce yourself and your role at Goldman Sachs.
Sure. Thanks, Arya. Thanks for that very brief background. Just to give you a flavor of what I do at Goldman Sachs, I'm in the investment banking division. I look at client onboarding for all of India clients, so I'm very close to the domestic market. And we are literally the first phase for a client that comes to Goldman. We are the phase that either makes or breaks their experience. So per se, we are also looking at regulatory adherences, so also saving Goldman Sachs from any of those findings or any issues that may come up if there is no adherence that is taken care of. So a bit of both, balancing both the firm as well as the client and providing them with a good experience throughout the onboarding is what we do at Investment Banking Division.
And why did you decide to apply for the fellowship?
I think it's primarily because of my instinct to always wanting to do something that impacts a community. And when the email from the executive office came out and asked for an application, it had a video that we had to submit as well as a small write-up of why I was interested. And the first thing that I spoke about was, this is a community that has so much potential, can make so much impact. And me being able to give my little bit of experience that I have from Goldman and make a difference in their strategy is going to be a great achievement for me. So that was one of the reasons that I actually applied.
And we know that the learning is absolutely two ways. So if you both had to take one piece of advice one piece of learning that you got from the fellowship and had to share it with our audience, what would that be? I know it's hard to distill it into one, but Arya, you...
You want to take it?
Sure. All right. I think there was this one session, we had a client roundtable where India clients Sanjay Chatterjee, he's our India IBD person. So if you go to Mumbai and you don't know Sanjay Chatterjee, then it's like a question mark. So he had arranged for a client roundtable. We had a lot of, there was Rudradeep Chatterjee, who had come from Lakshmi Tea, that was his brand, and there was also Renuka Ramnath. So one thing that I took away from Renuka's session, which I actually went back and did the very same day, was transparency. Having transparency with your organization and telling them what you are looking at for your organization gives a lot of importance and imbibes the culture that you have, the accountability that you have, and allows the other person to actually look up to what you are like envisioning for your business. So that was one thing that I took back here.
Yeah, so true. So me and Nidhi both were making notes of all the conversations that was happening. And same from Renuka Ramnath, the one thing that I took back was how to create a culture which, for your organization, how to have build an emotional quotient with your organization. And that for me is very important because I work with rural women and they have their challenges. So it's just the building reputation and the relationship that brings them to work every day. And so just taking that piece of advice from her was like worth the whole 4-day session.
I have to say, I mean, both of you have touched there on effective leadership. And in all of our entrepreneurship programs, 10,000 small businesses and 10,000 women, this is the #1 topic in the growth groups, in the classroom, because it's so hard. And you know, each business, you know, there's similar principles, but each business is so very different. And again, I think through the pandemic, I know many of us have struggled with that. I know you motivating teams on Zoom, on Teams, is really hard while keeping yourselves going as leaders. So I know Suresh touched on this. Where is that's Suresh. The importance of mental health and resilience. And I don't think we've kind of touched on this enough today, but it's in the climate in which we're operating in a post-pandemic, hopefully, climate, and in a world where there is a huge amount of geopolitical and economic uncertainty. Managing, you know, you manage a business within a big organization, so there are a lot of similarities. How do you get out of bed every day feeling strong, and how do you keep yourselves resilient and take that to motivate your teams?
Oh, that's easy. It's tough to go back to sleep, actually.
Oh, wish I had that problem.
Yeah, I have my mentor saying you need to take more rest. So I'm an entrepreneur out of passion, and I'm a finance background. So I was working with one of the not similar, but Ernst & Young. I'm an EY product, and there used to be a time when I used to stand out of Goldman Sachs office in New York and look at like, will they take me someday or not? So, but today when I found my right calling, I'm with iVillage, and every day is like is an interesting new challenge, reaching out to the women in the village or reaching out to the new clients. And the new tools that I learned in the fellowship were just so amazing. I read this book, Essentialism, by Greg McCall, and it's like doing more with less effort. And by this program, I've been doing the 3 months that I did 10,000 women, and then this growth fellowship was like identifying your customer, identifying your market, and then you've just hit the bullseye, and less efforts, you do more. So actually, Goldman Sachs lets me sleep more, because with less effort, I can get more.
We have a lovely saying at Goldman that one of my very high-performing colleagues keeps telling me, which is "see the ball, hit the ball." So it's very, very, very similar. And Nidhi.
Thanks, Charlotte. So I think I'm in a great my journeys, be it the professional work that I do on a daily basis, and also allows me to pursue something like 10,000 women. And so I'm able to do both my passion and my profession at the same place. So that keeps me going. And I really wake up to come to office every day, because the team that I work with also resonates with the same ideology that I think has been imbibed by the culture of Goldman Sachs. So I'm in a pretty great place to be. So yeah, thank you.
So Arya, I want to dive a little deeper into your business, because you're working with communities across rural India, but you are also a business. So how do you tread the very fine line of balancing ultimately a business with your social purpose?
So this starts with your conditioning as a child. The family ethics that I received was putting your community forward, then your own interest. So my grandfather, he started this NGO, Pardada Pardadi Education Society, and it has 2,000 kids studying as education for girl child in the village. So I come from UP in Anupshahr. And that's like really deep inside in the village. It's not like an outskirts of any metro area. So education, he brought, 20 years back, he brought education there, and now it's one of the leading NGOs in the country for the impact that it has created. So Rockefeller Foundation, Changemaker, they have all the credits to their name. So I wanted to be, like, it was like the third generation in line that wanted to create an impact, follow his footsteps, and I wanted to create something for the rural women. So girl child education is taken care of, but rural women, financially empowering them and providing them job opportunity was something that was very dear to me. And once the idea was conceived, then I decided to, then I need to know how to provide them employment. And then because I'm an Ernst & Young product and I worked in US for 2 years, so corporate gifting is a place where it was a very monotonous market. You get a lot of gifts, but you mostly get mugs, diaries, pens, keychains. I just thought I'll bring my flavor to it. And that's when I started to create products for millennials, and they were mostly hand-stitched so that the women can make it. So just turning a business around this concept and joining the two dots, and here a business model is ready, a sustainable one.
Fantastic. So putting your passion where the business principles are. And look, we know it is hard for all of you in this room, for all of us as women. So what are what's the biggest challenge that you faced as a female in your business?
It's for me? Okay.
Both of you.
In my business,
yeah.
Okay. So I really wanted to be on the stage someday and say this with a lot of pride. Like, my biggest support is my in-laws, my husband, my parents, and therefore challenge is only about how to get the work done in the village and how to ensure quality, etc., to which I take Professor Handa's support quite often. But other than that, I'm too lucky to have support from all corners. So challenges is just finding the right client and right market to sell the product and ensuring that the product comes on time, delivery happens on time. That's about it. Nothing
You're
more.
very in control. What about you, Nidhi?
Yeah. So, Charlotte, to be honest, I think we are already in a level playing ground with me being in a firm that has almost gender equal roles and responsibilities. But I think what is missing is the same equality that we have in a city which has all these amenities is not available to someone who's sitting in a rural atmosphere. I think that's the only challenge. So this is not a challenge for me per se. I think this is more of something that needs to be changed, something we pay forward as women entrepreneurs, as women professionals. I think we should be able to give that level playing ground for people who do not have the same advantages that we have. So yeah, that would be my take on the question.
So therefore, to end on that note with a very practical question, that's the future that we all want to see. We all want to see a world where every female has the opportunities that you have built for yourselves, and that a firm like Goldman Sachs is lucky enough to provide us. What else needs to happen?
You want to take first?
Okay, yeah. I think we just need more heroes to speak and give the same importance that you would give to another hero, to a shiro. So yeah, I think we just need men to be more vocal about their support and bring us the level playing ground that we always talk about. Yeah.
So yes, that's right. So yes, the opportunity that Goldman Sachs provide here, we just need to take it out. Maybe all of us in our businesses need to take it out and see who we can support from here on, and change will become a regular habit.
That is a wonderful note to end on, because I'm therefore going to ask, I have an ask for all of you, and we know that you pay it forward, but to your point, we know that we want growth heroes. We want you as models of growth, of enterprise, of opportunity, and of impact in your communities. So continue with that. We can put on more. I offered an extra finance boot camp this morning. We can do some specialist, we often do specialist media training with our colleagues at Bloomberg, and we will do that here in India. But the ask is, showcase yourselves on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. Work with your local media, because you are growth heroes and you are the inspiration for the next generation. So keep it up, keep going. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlotte. Thank you for having us.